Hello everyone. I am so glad that you're joining me. I'm Cindy from Cindy's Creative Cards, and today I want to share with you some tips and tricks that I have found that really helps me when I'm stamping. So I'm going to pull the camera down and then we'll get started. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see. So the first thing I want to show you is surgical tape. This is the best stuff. It is paper tape used during surgeries. It is so easy to tear. The wonderful thing about this is you can put it on this paper and nothing comes off. For instance, if we had a die that we wanted to put on here, I tape it down so I can cut it. I then pull it off, and no sticky residue, no print has gone off of the paper. That is its weight in gold. It's worth it. The next thing that you can use this surgical tape for that I found just yesterday, I'm doing a project where I cut and then I score. This is my scoring blade on my paper trimmer, my cutting blade. Well, when I finished with my cutting, I put it up here. I started scoring, and then I got sort of absent-minded and used this when I was supposed to be scoring. So what I now do is when I finish with this blade, I tape it down so it cannot be used. When I try to use it, it's not going to move. But when I'm ready to use it, I pull this off and there's no sticky residue. That helped me more than I can say. The next tip that I want to show you is when you are trying to stamp with an old stamp, especially a retired one, as these are. Well, that one's not the case, but the stickiness comes off and it just doesn't want to stick. It'll just slide right off. This is one that really does it. But what you can do is use chapstick. The original chapstick works best because it's not as slick because there's no moisturizer in it. But you just run that right across. You stick it down, and now you've got a stamp block that is holding the stamp so you can make an impression. The one thing about it is you need to clean your stamp block, which this one desperately needs cleaning, and you need to clean the back of your stamp and then store it back in its case. Wonderful stuff. Now, if you decide that you want to make this a permanent situation, you can use some of the store-bought tacky glue that you can find in Hobby Lobby or Joann's or any of the hobby stores, craft stores. Amazon even carries it. And it's very inexpensive. So there is your chapstick trick. Now, I want to show you, this one works well, but there are times that this gets stuck and it just will not make a clean cut. All you have to do is get aluminum foil out of your kitchen and cut through it a couple of times. And it sharpens this part in here, the blade part with the cutting part, so you can get a cleaner cut and it's not tearing. If it's wanting to stick and you can't get it to work, try wax paper. It will lubricate. Put enough lubrication on there that you then can use it for stamping. Not stamping, cutting. Okay. I've lubricated it well. Now, it's going to work like a charm. All right. The next tip is when you are cutting out your sentiments, and for instance, this birthday wish, I'm going to stick it right in here like that, and I cut it out. Now, this is sort of plain, and I want to jazz it up a little bit. So I want a backing. So what I do, but I don't have one, say, that fits this shape that's larger. I slide in a piece of paper that's going to be my backing, my cardstock. This happens to be black. This is the very same shape. I then can cut it in half. I can glue it like this. And like that. To make a backing to my sentiment, and it just jazzes it up a tad. Now, if you wanted your backing, say, for a smaller one like this, you put this in, cut your piece out, then slide this in and decide how long you want it, leaving this part up, not down where the blade can hit it. Push, and now it's smaller. This can open up a world of possibilities to a lot of your punches. The next tip is using dies that have a lot of little openings in it, and it just does not want to come out. Well, you can use this, like this, and that's going to get your little tiny pieces out. But if you just lay a dryer sheet, and preferably one that's not been used, over it, it will make those pieces fall out because it sort of lubricates, and it will make those pieces fall out every time. Another tip and trick I wanted to show you is, you see how I've used these plates so you can see all these etchings in it? Well, I was using a die that just cut out the outside piece of a sheet of paper, leaving this intact. And once it did that, I had all these etchings on it. I don't believe that's the one. I don't know what I did with the one that had all the etchings on it. However, it was all marked up, and I did not want to use that on my card. So, what I do now is I save one plate for just those purposes. If I know that I'm going to have a die that I will be using in my project, such as this Stitched with Whimsy die, where it cuts out, it just makes an impression. It doesn't actually cut out anything. So this is left intact, and there is this little design, and then there is the paper. But this now has got all of this etching on it. So what I will do is I will save a set of these clear plates just for situations like that. And it works well for when you're embossing as well. Okay, I'm going to lift you back up. And I'm going to say that I hope that these tips and tricks will help you as you are crafting in your craft room. If you have any questions about any of it, please just send me a message, a comment, and I will get back in touch with you, because I check my Facebook page many times during the day. If you need anything, if you need any supplies, remember, Stampin' Up! Has everything you need for paper crafting. And you can shop on my page at cindyphillips.stampinup.net. And if you would like to purchase any of the cards that you see that I post, I can make them for you. Or I can turn those cards into a kit where all you have to do is put it together. There's no cutting, there's no stamping. All you need most of the time is a pair of scissors and some glue. So if you would like a kit, I can make it into 4 cards, 6 cards, 8 cards, 12 cards. It all depends on what you want. I am here to help, and I want to please. So if you need anything, please get in touch with me. I am ready and I'm willing. So for now, I'd like for you to dream and create, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.